Welcome to my little creative corner of the internet, or welcome back to all my fellow creative friends. In this video I share with you my step-by-step process for creating cool collages in Procreate on your iPad. This is one of my favorite ways to create a beautiful, fun little collage without getting into the absolute mess that can be collaging and making art. It's one of my favorite ways to create something absolutely mess-free and be easily creative by creating a cool collage with pictures I found on the internet or pictures I took throughout the days, or even just include some of my own analog sketches or artwork. Now let's get into the process. You will need your iPad and Procreate, obviously, as well as a bunch of pictures. The ones I used here are all from Unsplashed. I started my process by collecting all the pictures I would maybe like to use in this collage. Most of the time I kind of pick broad color scheme at that point, but we also can change some of the colors from the pictures on Procreate later if we need to. So let's start with importing all of our pictures and photos into the Procreate canvas and start with the background for our collage. For my collages, I like to start by creating the background before going on to the main subject and focal point of the collage. For this collage and the background of it, I used these interesting photos of paper textures and added some more of those paper layers onto the corners of the collage for even more depth in the artwork. There is a bunch of other websites for copyright-free pictures to use, like Pixels or Pixabay. If you know any other websites for free stock images or collage elements, leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. Next, I go on to my main focal point of the collage work. For this artwork, it's the portrait of two women. I did desaturate the picture to make it black and white, so it builds a stronger contrast to our colorful background. Now I cut out my subject digitally, like you would in the paper process of collaging too. To make my subject pop even more, I added a shadow layer behind the item by duplicating it and making the second layer behind the first one darker or white. You could obviously use whatever setting you would like to make it pop and whichever kind of effect would fit your collage style at that moment more. I could have also gone with the orange that is in the background here so much, but I wanted to make it more contrasty to the colorful background. Here I play a bit more with the paper ripped effect by splitting the picture of the woman in half. In my Procreate collages, a bunch of these things I do is just experimenting and trying different stuff. That's the big benefit for me for the digital collage. If a step is not turning out like you wanted, you can always go back, start over, import the same picture again, have another one you can use, make duplicates of the same thing, which makes the whole process for me especially way less stressful to experiment instead of real analog collages where I might only have one of the pictures to work with or one of my paper assets I'm collaging with, so it definitely kicks in more of the perfectionist on my end, so that's why I really love the digital version. The process is so much more mess and stress-free. That's what I love about it. After figuring things out with the first portrait, I decided to add another one to this artwork. In the same manner as the first, I did use the picture in black and white for the contrast. Now it's time for one of my favorite steps: adding details to your collages. For this work of art, I really felt the street style vibes of the background, so I used the spray paint brush to add some doodles and a quote in the background, as well as a bunch of little stars. And after all of it, I still felt like there is something missing. That's why I imported a picture of crumbled up paper texture, and I did choose a layer setting for the paper crumbling effect to make it blend in with my cutout portraits for some more interesting texture to the overall collage. Just play around with your elements and different assets until you create a work of art you're satisfied with. And now, here it already is. Ready is your cool collage artwork, without a mess, but with the same amount of fun. The next step I take in this video is completely optional. You could also call your collage session done and use your collage digitally if you only want it as a screensaver or phone background, or you want to post it to social media, whatever you want. I myself like to go a bit more meta and like to print out the collage to add it to my art journal or my sketchbook, and even also sometimes add a bit of something like some more washi tapes or collage elements, or just doodle on top of it to spice things up even more. Like I suggested in the beginning, you could also go even more meta by including some of your analog art and sketches by scanning them into the digital process of the collage. I hope this tutorial and little collaging session has inspired you to make some more digital collages as well and have some fun with your art. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, a thumbs up would make me really happy. And if you want to join me on my creative journey, hit the subscribe button down below.